Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and I just got another issue of the LEGO Ninjago Magazine. Now I apologize, I'm very late on this one. In fact, I already have the next one right here. But these magazines are exclusive to Europe, and I have to import them into the US because that's where I live. And unfortunately, I just didn't realize that my subscription expired. So I was waiting around for this to arrive, and it just never did, so then I had to buy it. And then I had to wait another 2 weeks after that. So yeah, this is technically last month's magazine. However, I've not missed a single magazine since I started covering these, so I still wanted to cover it here on the channel. So let's take a look at it. You can see this one comes with a Dragons Rising J minifigure, which is kind of interesting. The thing is, that's the suit from Season 1, or I guess not technically Season 1, because he's not in that suit in that season. But it's from last year's Summer Wave, even though the previous magazine had something from this year's January Wave. So I was surprised to see them go back to a Dragons Rising Season 1 minifigure. But anyway, I'll talk about him more later in this video. For now, let me remove the minifigure from the cover of the magazine. So here's a look at the full cover. You can see it says LEGO toy with a cool crystal chain mace. We have a Mighty Machines tournament, a 12-page comic, packed with puzzles and games. Also, Rapton's Revenge. That's interesting. I hope that's the comic. That's actually a very fun concept, if so. And then, as always, 2 legendary posters. Very typical stuff for the magazine. Right off the bat, I want to point out this Nia render right here because her mask colors are inverted here. We saw that a little bit in the previous magazine, but we didn't see a full render of her. I believe it was just the mask. But now we could see it on the full outfit. And yeah, that's the opposite of the final version of that figure, and honestly, I don't know what to think of that. I think I might prefer this version to the version we got. It does feel a little uncanny because it is so different, but I feel like the Gunmetal Grey is integrated a lot better here, and she has the Gunmetal Grey armor too. Because yeah, in the magazines, all the ninja have the wrong color armor. It matches the colors on their hoods, so like Cole's got orange armor here. We still don't have an answer as to whether that was like the original version in the sets, or if that's just a mistake on the magazine's part, but regardless, very cool to see. Anyway, let's get this open and take a look at the first page. Here, an advertisement for Kai's Climber Mech. Kai would swing into action. What would you do? Discover more at Ninjago.com. That's actually quite cool, and I'm happy to see we're getting a Ninjago advertisement, because if I remember correctly, these haven't been Ninjago advertisements in a while. It's been like LEGO City and LEGO Friends and stuff. Good to have Ninjago in the Ninjago magazine. And I really love that design. That's a great ad. Then we have our Master of the Month. Cool to see they're sticking with this. And it's actually Camille this time around. I was expecting them to stick with the Dragons Rising ninja, so it's cool to see them go back and do someone like Camille. Name, Camille, element, form. The fact that her name is similar to that of the chameleon is formidable. She has the ability to take on the shape and color of anything. This makes Camille changeable and unpredictable. So far, she has taken on the appearance of a ninja without burning her fingers, Kai. And then you can fill this out to like rank how strong you think her power is. That's cute, I like that that's here. I hope they stick with this. Anyway, turning to the next page, this is the bio page on the J minifigure, which is going to be interesting to read considering he's not actually in Dragons Rising yet. Lightning Ninja. Jay's been hit hardest by the merge. He has 0% memory of his previous life. Even his ninja friends are strangers to him. So he is at least 100% removed from being the master of lightning. Roller Coaster. Jay's seen plenty of ups and downs. He grew up with adoptive parents, was the first to master the art of Spinjitzu, was trapped in the video game Prime Empire, and has been desperately searching for his friend Nia for a long time. His friend Nia. I don't know if that's the word I would use to describe their relationship, but sure. The Administration. Since the merge, he has been out and about in the Administration realm as Agent Walker. That's a little bit wrong. It's not the Administration realm, it's the Realm of Madness. The Administration's just in the Realm of Madness. When he's not filling in forms, he makes the controllers glow when gaming. And then, of course, we've got the minifigure saying his iconic line, "These swingers are a real hit." Then we have a few small games you can play with the minifigure parts. That's actually pretty cool. Neat way to just give you a little bit more to do. And then, of course, the instructions to build the minifigure and the weapon. Then, turning to the next page, we have a Lloyd's Revamp. And this is just 3 small games right here. You gotta figure out which of these paths is the shortest, which direction this turns at the end, and then you gotta build with your LEGO bricks to fill in this path. Oh, and also follow this sequence right here to get to the end. There's a little minifigure torso down here that you can color in. That's actually really cool. They've done like the flat minifigure torsos before, but not one that's like rendered to look like an actual piece. I like that a lot. Turning to the next page, here we have Heat Hurdle. Wildfire has overshot the mark again. This has created a massive wall of flames in front of her friends and creeps. Circle all the characters you can find and answer the questions below. Are we referring to like villains as creeps? I don't know if that's the terminology I would use. I mean, I guess, right? Sure, I guess. But her friends and creeps. That just sounds really weird. That could be a translation thing, though. These magazines are originally written in German and then translated into English, so maybe that's just not like a one-to-one thing. But yeah, we got Ninja in here, we got Ryu in here, Dareth, Misdemeanor. I'm not really seeing any creeps in here unless we're calling Dareth a creep, which depending on the season, he might be. And then we have a little coloring page of Aaron and Ryu, and oh my goodness, Ryu looks so cute. I miss baby Ryu so much. Look at this little guy. Just so adorable. Turning to the next page, we are at the comic. So as always, I'm not going to read the entire comic to you guys, but feel free to pause the video and read it for yourself. And if I notice anything especially funny or interesting, I will stop and point it out to you. So this time around, we have Unlikely Team Up. Okay, so they're setting up for Sora creating the hooks. But of course, this takes place way before Dragons Rising Season 2 because Ryu was still a baby here. They modified Zane's vehicle to put hooks on the back. That's actually really cool. But uh-oh, Rapton's here and he's selling dragons. And I guess he's going to try to capture baby Ryu again. So let's turn to this next page. Oh, but Krill and Labo are here and they're trying to race. Alright, turn to the next page. And Rapton does successfully capture Ryu. And oh no, what's going to happen? We'll have to wait and see because we are now at the break in the comic. Bad transmission. The Borg satellite of ninja friend and tech genius Cyrus has had technical problems during the season finale of Dragons Rising. It separated 6 moments, letters from their respective messages, numbers, matched them correctly and rate the number by the matching image. So you just have to match each of these sentences to each of these pictures. And then we have the posters in the center, and this one actually I'm really excited for. Here it is in its entirety. It just says Dragon Power, and it's got the Ninjago logo in the top corner, and this looks awesome. This is one of my favorite posters they've ever done. We've seen these dragon renders in some of the magazines, but just like parts of them. Pretty much just the dragon's heads and maybe a little bit more. I think this is the most we've seen of the full illustrations though, and these look amazing. Because they're not just like set renders, these are illustrations of the creatures. The Earth Dragon looks amazing, Jiro looks amazing, and then that's the Matriarch Dragon up there, which of course she doesn't even have a set. But that's different from her show appearance too. Yeah, this is really, really cool, and there's not like any weird, awkward text. Like, it would've looked cool even without the words in the center, but I think Dragon Power is perfectly fine. And then if we flip this over, on the other side, this is pretty good too. We have a giant poster for Lloyd. It's got Mech Suit Lloyd in the center, it says his name at the bottom. Mentor, Green Ninja, Hero, Master of Energy, and Legend. And these are all screenshots from Dragons Rising Season 1. Yeah, these are both really good posters. I actually quite like the colors on this one. The like lime green that they use really pops in the background. Very, very solid selection this time around. I'm quite happy with them. Coming back to the magazine, we have glider glitches, and you have to figure out which of these silhouettes matches Kai's glider. And then we have a Dareth game, Bad Hair Day. So you have to find all of these villains' names in his hair. That's very bizarre. Alright, turn to the next page, we are back to the comic. Okay, I've been staring at Krill's bike trying to figure out what it is. Because it does look to be made out of Lego parts, and normally in magazines like this, they'll like recolor another set. But I can't figure out what set that originally was. If any of you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. My first thought was like Jay's Golden Dragon motorbike because that wheel's very obvious. But then it's got like these blasters on the side. What I think it is actually Sora's bike, but heavily modified, like her mech bike. But it doesn't have like the dome at the top, and it's got like a bunch of added parts in here. I think that's probably what it is, but if you guys recognize it as something else, let me know. But yeah, that would make the wheels match up as well as the blasters on the sides match up, so I think that's what it probably is. Alright, Labo's taking care of Rapton, let's go. That's really funny. But Aaron's got the car and he's doing Spinjitzu and he's gonna save the day. And surprise, surprise, they get Ryu back and Rapton's in the water and everything's okay. At the end, Aaron mentions wanting to help Ryu learn to fly, which that's nice. It references stuff that happens in Season 2. This did come out before Season 2 came out. However, of course, by the time I'm making this video, it's already aired. But still, it's a neat little teaser. That's why these comics are worth looking at, because they do give you little hints as to what's to come. But I can't say this was my favorite comic. It was fine, it was fun, but nothing too like world-shattering. Probably one of my least favorites in a while. Anyway, let's turn to the next page, and here we have the mech finale. The Ninjago universe is searching for the Super Mech 2024. The first edition of action-packed tournament series is entering its hot phase. Here's some exciting information about the 8 quarterfinalists. In the end, you decide who takes the title. Alright, it's got this whole game to like figure out who wins. That's actually quite cool. Our competitors are Kai's Fire Mech, the Empress Mech, the Skeleton Mech, Sora's Technic Mech, that's a funny translation, obviously it's just Sora's Tech Mech, Cole's Earth Mech, the Ruune Salvage Mech for some reason. Everything else is either this year or last year, and then they randomly go back to 2016 for the Ruune Mech. Alright, sure. Lloyd and Aaron's Ninja Team Mechs, and finally Unknown Mech. No one knows what he is, what he can do, or where he comes from. Now he is here to stay. This stranger slips into the role of the secret favorite. Right, I forgot about that. The magazines aren't talking about the Wolf Mask Warriors yet, which is very funny, because they have stuff from like the March wave in here, but the Wolf Mask Warriors themselves are like not mentioned at all. Anyway, let's turn to the next page. And this is just a big advertisement for Sora's Elemental Tech Mech. There are some games in here, which is always nice to see. But yeah, this is basically the advertisement page. Here's the ad for the LEGO City magazine that I was talking about earlier. Sometimes this would be in the front of the magazine, but now it's here. Then we got a big maze for Nia, and there's that weird render of her once again. And finally, we come to the very end where we have a teaser for next month's magazine, or this month's magazine, as I mentioned. I do have this one, and this video will be coming probably later this week. But yeah, it comes with an Imperial Guard Commander, which has to be the lamest minifigure to come in this magazine in a very long time. I am not looking forward to that one at all, but I'll talk about that more in that video. To end things off, we have Ninja Meetup, which is yet another game, but this is one that you cut out. And you have like these pictures and you have to fill in the correct ninja heads. That's actually pretty cute, I like that. And that's it for the magazine itself. I'll give you my overall overall thoughts at the end of the video. For now though, let's take a look at the minifigure that it comes with. So here's the minifigure all put together, and this is of course Dragons Rising J. I want to start off by taking a look at the weapon because it's definitely the most interesting part about this figure, and that's my favorite part about the magazines in general, is they usually come with very unique weapon builds, and this is one of the coolest I've seen. So J's got like this double flail, which is neat because it's somewhat reminiscent of like the nunchucks of lightning. Having these chain pieces here does feel very J, but they use these blue crystal pieces on the end, specifically LEGO Chi pieces from Legends of Chima, and now that we know that the wowness from Ninjago does contain Chima, it's always really cool to see these pieces in any Ninjago context. But they also work as just like lightning crystals, right? Trans blue works perfectly, and it makes for a super fun toy just to like whack them at an enemy or something. So yeah, super cool accessory, easily the best part of this figure. However, the figure itself is also quite good. This guy comes in 2 sets, so is one of the less common minifigures of the first Dragons Rising wave. However, one of the sets he comes in is only $20, so he's not super difficult to get. The actual suit though I do quite like. I wish the bright yellow was printed on a little bit better because it doesn't pop as much as I would have hoped it to. But the Dragons Rising hood and armor pieces are really cool, and I think Jay's is no exception. He comes with 2 katanas around the back too, which is a great inclusion. He didn't need them because he already came with the weapon, but it just gives you more options for play. And then here you can see the full torso if I take that armor piece off. A little bit more yellow on the undershirt, which is nice they brought that over, and Jay's got his symbol right there. And then turning around, he's got the Source Dragon symbol, as well as specifically the Lightning Source Dragon symbol surrounding that. And then here's a look at his 2 faces. On one side he's got like the Dragon Power eyes, and the other side the somewhat angry expression. There's how the Dragon Power eyes look fully masked up as well. Yeah, this is a fairly solid minifigure all around. Not my favorite Dragons Rising suit, but also probably not my least favorite. Thinking about it actually, it might be my least favorite. But that's just because they're all pretty good, not because this one's bad. It is a good one to get, not super exciting. I would have preferred like Nia since she is super uncommon in the sets. But hey, I'll definitely take this one. I'm overall satisfied with it. And so, overall, what did I think of this magazine? This one was, like, pretty middle of the road to me. The comic was probably one of their weaker ones, but still fun. It's world building, it gives you more just story that we don't have from the show, so I do always appreciate that. Posters were actually fantastic this time around, and the games I do feel like have been better as of recent. Obviously, the games and stuff are meant for a very young audience, so I am not the target audience, but if I'm imagining a kid who gets every Ninjago magazine, there is stuff in here that's not in previous magazines, so I think that's good for them. And then the minifigure, yeah, as I mentioned, it's alright. You can get him for pretty cheap, so it's not super exciting to get him here, but this is technically now the cheapest way to get this guy. So I do appreciate it, and at the very least the weapon's fun. But yeah, it's not like a must-have by any means. So I'd say this is a very easy one to skip out on, but if you like collecting the posters, this is one you should absolutely pick up. And if you don't have J yet, or if you just want an extra, hey, this is a fun way to do it. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys thought of this magazine in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and stay tuned because I'll have a review of the next magazine coming very soon, and then I'll be back to my monthly schedule where I review one of these a month. So thanks for watching everybody. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!